Why? 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 Why?
And here we go. Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, good morning. Happy Friday. For a second there, I thought it was Saturday. Holy shit. Morning, everyone. Your friendly neighborhood conservative ex-con here, Fernando Rivera Jr. with the common sense and random shit show. Yes, it is what it is. Why is it what it is? That's the question. You know, today, I got to tell you, I said yesterday, usually Fridays, and I said last week, Fridays are going to be what are we going to watch for the weekend? But there's so much stuff going on that I couldn't help but come on today and not talk about movies or TV shows because it's a shit show, and I got to talk about it. Can't help it. And if you're new, this guy here, I come on here to share conservative videos I can find that are either funny, informative. If you haven't seen it, then it's breaking to you. But breaking news, I guess. As I said, if you haven't seen it, it's breaking to you. And it's ridiculous. But I always say, why? You know, the kids, when you're a kid and you see other kids and they're always, why? And you kind of get tired of hearing it. I don't have kids. I raised a little girl. She's a grown adult now, and we talk here and there, and I love her to death. But I don't have my own kids. But, you know, I have a lot of nieces and nephews. But kids, why? Why is this? Why is that? That's the question we all need to ask. You know, you got your liberals, the left, the wrong, not the right, who give you their reasons why. They don't explain to you why it is what it is. They just they force their parroting shit that they get from the Democrats, those in power, and just sound like idiots because they are. But why? That could be asked for anything. Why? Why did the shooter man do what he did? We're getting to that. Why are liberals stupid? We talk about that every day. Why are Democrats, libtards? Why am I conservative? Why did I go to prison? Why am I on here trying to talk to you, trying to gain an audience? That's the question. Well, if you have common sense, a lot of those answers could right in front of you. You just got to pay attention. Like my old karate teacher used to say, old Vietnam vet. Pay attention, Fernando. Pay attention, Fernando. Now, one of the channels I like to share is Ridiculousity because they pretty much all the headlines, ridiculous headlines, and then the bullshit from the left liberal media still not learning why they got their asses spanked in November and they helped. They're complicit and they're getting the Dems getting their asses kicked. They're still continuing the bullshit rhetoric. Why though? Why? Anyway, check this out.
First of all, they all have bad ratings. Did you ever hear of Trump derangement syndrome? He's got it. transgender for everybody.
What we're seeing right now is just a full-on attempt by this authoritarian regime to march us towards full-on fascism.
Oh my God.
Donald Trump's trying to avoid any accountability as it relates to Epstein, of course. He's done everything he could over the years to create this conspiracy theory that there's a deep state that's hiding things from the American public. Well, guess what? Donald Trump is the deep state.
Oh my God.
There's a reason he doesn't want those files to come out. This party is covering up for their billionaire pedophile friends. Donald Trump is chief amongst them.
Pardon me, but that's bullshit.
I think it's bullshit when people say the Democrats aren't doing enough. Look at what Gavin Newsom is doing in California. Look what J.B. Pritzker's doing in Illinois. Look what Kathy Hochul's doing in New York City. I'm actually proud of our Democratic elected officials.
You went full retard, man.
You have a fascist in the White House.
Do you think Donald Trump is a fascist?
Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
That old playbook, the norms that, used to have guardrails on our democracy and protect all of us in this country, that doesn't exist anymore. Give us a chance again. Put us in power. We all do better when we all do better.
Never go full retard. Everybody knows you never go full retard.
We all do better when we all do better.
Bruh.
Never go full retard, but they do. Is that a politically incorrect word? Sorry, my wife doesn't like when I say that. But when I say, what is it? What's the other one? Midget. Sorry. She's like, don't call them midget, call them little people. But, sorry. But I'm just saying, why? Why are they still rolling out the fascist, Nazi, threat to democracy? Why? Do they actually think they're winning by this? Do they actually believe? Yes, they do, because they're stupid. They're idiots. This was yesterday's topic, but they're stupid. I can't help all of them with their face with poop on them. It's ridiculous. Anyway, that's why it's a good name for that channel, Ridiculousity, because it is ridiculous. But why? I asked it, why? I'll never get it. Anyway, I mentioned this guy the other day, Carl Higbie. I like Carl Higbie a lot. He's an ex-Navy SEAL, retired Navy SEAL, obviously conservative. And of all the conservative opinion hosts, I like Jesse Waters, I like Hannity, I like Ingram, I like Will Cain. I could go on. There's a couple more I like. Most of those were Fox. But on Newsmax, Carl Higbie. He's very emotional. He loves this country. Obviously, he's a Navy SEAL. He fought for this country. But yesterday, I wanted to show the one from the other day, but it was kind of long. But this one was long as well, but I had to cut it to be short enough. Now, granted, just a reminder. I'm not here to show you easy clips sometimes. There will be some short, but some of them will be long. My show is not here just for breaking news or just to talk about things in a quick manner. I'm here to entertain you, point out some stuff, show you what you may not have seen. And as I said, it's not breaking news, but if you haven't seen it, it's breaking to you. But check out Carl Higbie. If you haven't watched Carl Higbie, you have to. This guy's amazing, very passionate, fact-based, conservative news host. And just pay attention. Just saying.
These parents haven't even buried their children yet. And this afternoon, here are a bunch of screeching liberal women calling for the one thing that doesn't work: gun control. And we talked about this yesterday.
We've seen what happens time and again when assault weapons are used. And we also know what happens when they're banned. Lives are saved.
We know what fuels this crisis. Assault weapons and high-capacity magazines designed to kill as many people as possible, and sometimes as many children as possible, as quickly as possible.
The fact that these are weapons that are used in war, I know a little bit about that. No one has the capacity to take your life in seconds with the weapons that they shouldn't have access to.
Ilhan, spare me your plea about war and gun violence. You know why she fled Somalia? It was because her father was a senior officer in the same military that carried out genocide. And when that government collapsed over there, people wanted revenge on people like your dad for genocide. So spare me your understanding of war and gun violence. And to that woman who said, lives are saved when assault weapons are banned. Oh boy, who wants to tell her that hammers kill more people than AR-15s every year? Do your research if you're going to step on this stage with me, lady. All these people equate the 1994 crime crackdown by Clinton, which also simultaneously passed the Brady Bill into temporary assault rifle ban, even though assault rifles aren't a thing. Crime did, in fact, go down dramatically in wake of that crime bill, but it had nothing to do with banning AR-15s. It had everything to do with enforcing laws, which ironically liberals are fighting Trump on doing right now. Also, they found some guy actually out there who bench presses less than Ma'am Danny to give his take.
There is extensive research showing that in jurisdictions with stronger gun safety laws and policies, including limitations and bans on semi-automatic weapons and high-capacity magazines, that in those jurisdictions, there are fewer people who die of gun injury.
No, actually, that's not true at all either. I'll give you Chicago, D.C., L.A., that are some of the most violent places to live, and yet have all of your desired gun grabs. Guess what? Didn't help. No, Carl, red states have high gun crime too. Yeah, some do. Jackson, Mississippi, Birmingham, Alabama, St. Louis, Missouri, Memphis, Tennessee. Yes, in red states, but blue cities. And since policing is a local issue, buddy, and they answer to the mayor of that city, try that. I'd also like to point out that those cities, respectively, are majority black or minority populations, all with very high murder rates with mostly illegal guns. And yet, and I may have missed this, but I haven't seen any of these liberal women holding press conferences there, especially in those cities, especially when the victims of those gun crimes are children. Matter of fact, more than 50 children were gunned down just in those cities just last year, and yet not one of those anti-gun, white liberal women groups held a single press conference in any one of those cities. That's odd from the same party that watched over $2 billion worth of damage in the name of, what was it? Oh, Black Lives Matter. No? Do you not care because they're black? Or do you not care because they weren't killed with AR-15s? I'm just asking. You want to have the argument? Let's go. Oh, does that offend you, libs? You want to debate this issue? Bring it. Come on. You better come with some facts that matter.
You gotta admit, that guy's a badass. Obviously, he looks like he works out, so I wouldn't mess with him. But I'm just saying, why? Why? Ask yourself that question. Why does hashtag walkaway exist? Because people are waking up to the bullshit. Why are people like Carl Higbie as passionate as they are? Because he knows bullshit a mile away. Why is this guy no longer infected with TDS? Because, I've mentioned before, I was never against any policies. I just believe what the liberal media told me because I didn't know there was a difference between wrong and right. No left. Leaning. Just saying. Why? Why the tranny thing? Remember, this was considered, the transsexual gender dysphoria thing was considered a mental illness. It was the Biden administration who took it off of that list. Genius I'm not, but common sense I have. I may not know word for word verbatim of exactly what that was about, but I know that that's what happened. These people are crazy. They're insane. And liberals are stupid. Part of what I was talking about yesterday. Yeah, anyway, so let's talk about common sense. Who has it and who doesn't? Whoever doesn't is stupid, I'm just saying. But, yeah. Common sense.
Let me summarize modern liberalism for you, and you let me know if I forgot something in the comments. Don't get married, don't start a family, and if you accidentally get pregnant, kill the baby. I mean, the clump of cells. And then call it reproductive justice. Sleep around, chase temporary pleasure, call it liberation, even though you know your soul is starving for meaningful connection. Trade motherhood for deadlines. Convince yourself that corporate success is everything you need. And when it doesn't work out that way, just blame capitalism. Call all men useless, children are a burden. Numb the emptiness that you have with alcohol, casual sex, and antidepressants. Because here's the truth. When a person cannot find meaning in life, they drown themselves in pleasure to forget how empty they feel. Those of us who you mock for having morals, values, a family, we know exactly what you're running from. You proudly call this life you've chosen freedom. I rationally call it broken.
If you want to know why young people are more Republican than ever, then just run back like the last 2 weeks and you'll immediately realize, because Billie Eilish, Sydney Sweeney, and Joey Swoll, all three got canceled by a left-wing mob for totally ridiculous non-issues. Every time you guys have one of these witch hunts, you just push more people to the right because they see you guys freaking out over something that isn't even an issue. And they're like, well, I'm a human and I'm eventually going to make an actual mistake. So what are they going to do when that happens? Go to these people's profiles. They almost always look severely unwell. Even their backgrounds are usually a mess and a reflection of the rottenness of their mentality and their spirit. These people are ashamed of their own lives, so they use politics as an excuse to abuse other people to make them feel better about their own insecurities. They use politics also as a way to project all of their own issues and their own bad decisions onto society. They say, oh, all of my life circumstances, my terrible life, how I haven't taken care of myself, my terrible living conditions, all of that is society's fault. And this person, this Joey Swoll, this Billie Eilish, this Sydney Sweeney, they represent a success that I resent because I can't have it.
Yo, common sense. As I said, it isn't just the bullshit that's made me wake up and realize that having TDS is not the way to go. It's all this bullshit. That's the reason why something happens. Why are younger people shifting to the Republican side? Why is the left evil? Why did they continue on this route? We'll never know. Yeah, we do. Because they're stupid. And yeah, just saying.
I just want everybody to know in my fucking life in this world that all you pieces of shit don't understand that I have been forced to push my body through so many things that I have not been able to handle. You guys all got so much money and support and everybody can support you, but I had to get pushed through labor and struggling and all these jobs and places where like I could never go up from and whatever. I did not get the life that you guys ever did. I was never able to go up. Nobody supported me. Remember, Grandma supported you. Everybody supported you. Everybody supported you guys. I had no support. I struggled. Me and my kids struggled. Everybody in my life struggled. We struggled. We did not get hand-me-outs. We did not get help. Like the hand-me-outs I'm getting is so goddamn pathetic. It's like, it's pathetic. Like, you don't even understand. I got people leaving me things on my front porch as like little necessities surviving. It's not enough to even do like the bare minimum in a day's meal. It's pathetic. It's pathetic the way even the schools help you and children youth help you. Like all the shit that I've ever been forced to go through, it's been a joke. It's been a joke, and I'm so sick and tired of everybody acting like everything they do is so good to help people, and it's not a help. It's not yeah, whatever. Like, you're not there. You don't even know. Like, I'm on the bottom of the fucking barrel. Like, I can barely get out of it to survive. Everybody keeps kicking me back down here, and I can't get out of it. I just desire to get out of it. Struggle all my life. All my life I've struggled. I've just tried so hard to get out, and it's never going anywhere. never going anywhere. So Yep.
Yeah. Just saying. Anyway, you know, I've never taken a handout. I've never been on state assistance welfare. I've been homeless. I've did that in my car. Never been a drug addict. Never been an alcoholic. And I don't blame anybody for my mistakes. I blame myself. And I went to prison because of the shit I was involved with. I didn't commit the crimes I was being charged with, but that's why I did almost 10 years for conspiracy, not the actual crimes that I was arrested for. And they knew that. Yeah, whatever choice, like right now, I'm struggling, even with 3 part-time jobs. But it's my choices that got me where I am. You know, I to be able to stream to you, sometimes I have to borrow the money to be able to keep this website running. It's just $20 a month, but I don't get paid for none of this. I don't make a dime. Well, you know, it's a lie. With Rumble, as it's going around and you see advertisements, Rumble is probably the only one that get a couple of cents here and there from the video, my videos. But I've been doing this for almost a year, and I've made $11 on Rumble. That's how little it is, but that's fine though. It's better than nothing. But I love doing this. That's the reason why I do it, because I want to give you my 2 cents, because that's all it's worth. Just saying. Anyway, my face. Having fun. That's why I'm here. I'm having fun. I love doing this shit. I love talking, since I don't have a lot of friends. You know, although there's one of my jobs here where I'm at now, I do talk to them, but I only work here 2 days a week. So I look forward to coming here to work. One of my other jobs, I work 5 days, another one 6, but the other jobs are more part-time than, you know, it is. Because it is what it is. Why? Just saying why. And George Carlin, even though I found out later on in life, I didn't know he was sort of a liberal, but he was not a piece of shit. But he was funny as hell. And George Carlin puts it best about how to see stupid.
Some people are really fucking stupid. Did you ever notice that? How many really stupid people you run into during the day? God damn, there's a lot of stupid bastards walking around. Carry a little pad and pencil with you. You wind up with 30 or 40 names by the end of the day. Look at it this way. Think of how stupid the average person is, and then realize half of them are stupider than that. And it doesn't take you very long to spot one of them, does it? Take you about 8 seconds. You'll be listening to some guy. You say, this guy is fucking stupid. Then there are some people, they're not stupid, they're full of shit. That doesn't take very long to spot either, does it? Take you about the same amount of time. You'll be listening to some guy and say, well, he's fairly intelligent. He's full of shit. Then there are some people, they're not stupid, they're not full of shit, they're fucking nuts. Dan Quayle is all 3. All 3. Stupid, full of shit, and fucking nuts.
Common sense. That's what it is. It makes you aware. Just like George Carlin said, you know, you're listening to liberal media, listening to libtards, and you're like, these people are effing stupid. This is the reason why they don't learn. And they continue on their path of destruction of their own party. It is what it is, and that's the reason why. Can't change it. They won't change it. No matter what. Doesn't matter how they look. They're going to continue to play this bullshit. Let me see. Where am I? All right. I got one more video, but I'll save that one for the end because let's share a few things. I saved some of these for my bookmarks. How do these people, how do you fix these people?
If you don't play into the trans agenda, you're cast out as a bully.
Wow. Why? Okay. Must see video and share.
big doge loose. Faceless, Marxist bureaucrats, public servants put in America last, working in stealth with dirty hands, squandering wealth in faraway lands. Wanna see what the left's been doing to give the country they hate a royal screwing? Funneling hard-earned taxpayer dough into hidden agendas like NGOs, secret grants, big black holes. Whoever it was running the show, it sure wasn't Joe. It sure wasn't Joe. Nation took it up the rectum, cause Sleepy Joe was on the dementia spectrum. Thank the Lord we didn't re-elect him. Where, oh where did our tax dollars go? Here comes Doge, open your kimono. Who let the Doge out? Trump, Trump. Arrogance and full regalia, billions worldwide to sever genitalia. Transgender comic book in Peru, Ivy League schools isolating Jews. Let the Doge out. Trump, Trump. Trump, Trump. Who's millions to research transgender mice? Billions for DEI, zilch for ICE. Men and girls restrooms, what a lot of nerve. There used to be a word for that, and if I recall, it's perv. If you wanna win in women's sports, best to be hung like a horse. With all the insanity that abounds, the time has come to release the hound. Who let the Doge out? Trump, Trump. Who let the Doge out? Trump, Trump. Who let the Doge out? Trump, 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 Trump,
Trump. Yo. That is effing cool. Pretty much why everything is the way it is. I never saw that before. Just to remind, 97% of guns are in the red. 97% of gun violence is in the blue. Okay, insane college Democrats say gangs are good for the community and MS-13 criminals should be freed from jail and welcome on campus.
Think that we could abolish jails, get all the violent immigrants, your words, and all the violent felons in jail. Could we put them here at USF on campus?
Yes, and I'll hang out with them.
You'll hang out with them?
Mm-hmm. People give people labels all the time, and
no, they named themselves, like they named their own gang, MS-13.
Yeah, but you saying violent, which I understand, but gangs are there for a reason. Gangs are there for community, and they're there because, listen, gangs are formed for community. They're formed because they're lacking something, and that they couldn't
drug
find,
cartels and human trafficking and sex trafficking and gang raping.
No, that's a byproduct of human evil. That's not what gangs. I'm saying gangs in general, not MS-13.
But you're okay with American citizens going to jail for committing crimes, but you're telling me that when someone that's not an American citizen comes over and commits a crime, they should be allowed to stay.
They should be able to go to American jail.
Wow.
So you want them to be housed in American jails?
Yeah, they did the crime in America, didn't they?
Okay, first of all, ex-gang member, convict here, felon. I've been out over 20 years. I did not join a gang because I was missing something in my life. I actually had a good family, good raising, but when I went to prison, I don't know. I just thought it was cool. And when I first joined the gang that I was involved with, there was more of a positive thing and a togetherness, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. It wasn't something that I did right away for protection. I'm the last person in protection. But, the thing about these liberals, these idiots, their reasons as to why they think things happen, they're clueless. They have no idea why anything. It's just why. They're idiots. But it is, and they go to college. Oh, my God. Anyway, Congressman Tim McBride is mentally ill groomer. Yes, the man. Yeah, I said this yesterday. The conservative people that I watch, I haven't heard Carl Higbee do it yet, but some of the people that I actually watch, why are they still giving in? They talk and they do their thing, but when they mention the person they're talking about, they say she or her. It's a man. Stop it. I don't think you guys realize this shit. Stop it. Pay attention to yourself. Why? Anyway, the 5 pathetic Jessica Turloff tried to blame guns for Minnesota school shooting. She refused to acknowledge the killer was mentally ill with gender dysphoria. As I said, the left won't even call him a man. They continue to refer to him as she. Guns didn't kill. Mental illness does. Listen, I didn't even read this until now. You see what I'm talking about? It isn't just the left. It's some of the conservative media. Why are you still calling them a she? It's a he. Stop it. I respect you guys. Imbecile. Yes, she is. Good morning, arming school staff, teachers, librarians. Yeah, just saying. Yeah, this is school. This is awesome. And look at this. I bought neo. What is that? I thought neopronouns weren't the thing anymore, but I was wrong.
This is a video about my pronouns. I've had a lot of people ask them in lives, and I thought it would be easier to just have a video explaining my pronouns. So I use ze, them, it, its, and they, them pronouns because I like them and I think they're fun to use. How you use ze, them pronouns in a sentence would be like Z is crocheting. I'm watching their live. I'm crocheting with them. Most people know how to use it, its, and they, them pronouns in sentences.
Okay, someone arrest this person now. This person is a ticking time bomb. Holy shit. Oh, wow. That's scary. Why? That's to me. Why? Look at this. Bad parenting? Maybe. Why? That's some freaky shit. That just freaked me out. Wow. Whew. Anyway. That really was some freaky shit. Let me get rid of this. Because I got one more video. And I got to go to my cheat sheet, which is my phone. Because I actually screenshot. How many minutes? I got to get to work in a little while. I want to read something to you. Charlie Chaplin. There was a movie. Famous final speech was a 1940 film, The Great Dictator. Charlie Chaplin. He delivered the powerful anti-fascist monologue as the first spoken words of his character in that film. Though the movie was released September 1940, The Great Dictator. This satirical film featured Charlie Chaplin, his one and only spoken monologue, on screen in his career. Check this out. This is pretty interesting. And just listen to the words. Reigns true even now.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines. You are not cattle. You are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate. Only the unloved hate. The unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery. Fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man. Not one man nor a group of men, but in all men. In you. You, the people, have the power. The power to create machines. The power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful. To make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world. A decent world. That will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason. A world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
That was pretty deep. 1940. Chaplin wrote this speech to express his strong feelings about the growing threats of fascism and war in Europe. Though some of his associates initially cautioned against it, worried it might harm the film's box office success. Let me read the rest of this. It says, the speech calls for peace, kindness, democracy, and unity among all people, and it remains highly relevant today. Why does it remain relevant? Because the Democratic Party is not just evil, but they do not love America. Genius, I am not. Common sense, I have. And this video from 1940 is the one and only video that you will hear Chaplin's voice, and he wrote that speech. And a lot of this shit rings true today. It's crazy. 1940, almost 100 years ago. Interesting. Anyway, why? Ask yourself. Before you do anything, ask yourself, why am I doing it? Before you lose your shit, why? Before you vote, why? Not because they tell you to. Ask yourself, why am I doing what I'm doing? Is it right? Is it wrong? If something in your gut tells you it isn't, it isn't. Always trust that gut. You know, women have a women instinct that carries them a lot further than men. We don't have that instinct because we need to utilize it. It's in there somewhere. It's called common sense. Common sense. It is what it is. Why? Ask yourself that question. I'm just saying, I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I am going into work earlier from now on, so I got to literally finish here and wrap up and clean up my mess and get out and get to my other job. But tomorrow maybe have to be a little earlier. So if you don't see me tomorrow, have a great weekend, guys. I love you. Stay true to the red, white, and blue. As I said before, I don't make money out of this, so if you can help the channel out, please do so. Anything will be appreciated. Things will get better. Stay true. I'm just saying, common sense takes you a long way. It is what it is. Ladies, have a good weekend, guys. Yeah, just saying.
I'm sorry.